Good morning. For millions of people around the world, higher education is nothing but a dream. People graduate high school, want to go to university, eligible academically to attend a university, but cannot do so. Cannot do so for many reasons. For some, or for many actually, universities are too expensive. Worldwide, universities are very expensive. People cannot afford going to university. For others, it's just a question of supply. People graduate high school, take a placement exam. Either they're in or they're out. They're out, they have no alternative just because there aren't enough universities where they live. They could have been great students, well, but they cannot. They have no future. Others are excluded from universities for cultural reasons. Women, for example, in very many countries tend not to go to universities. They stay home, they have no future. And there are a lot of people with personal issues. Students live in a village, they get accepted to a university, but in order to attend the university, they need to relocate. They need to move to the city in order to go to the university. Well, their families cannot afford losing them. They have to stay at home to help their families. Again, university is out of the question. So for all these people that cannot afford going to the university, there is an answer today, and the answer is University of the People. University of the People is the first ever non-profit, tuition-free, online university dedicated to bring democracy to higher education, to enable people, wherever they are, whatever their financial situation, to be able to attend university. And we offer, first of all, two programs: business administration and computer science. And we offer these two programs for very simple reasons. First and foremost, we want to help these people, these poor people who cannot afford going to college. We want to help them to find a better job. Because if they find a better job, they improve their standard of living, they can elevate their social status. So obviously, business administration and computer science are the likeliest programs to help them to find a job. Because wherever you are, if you have a degree in computer science, if you have a degree in business administration, you're likely to find a job. But there is another reason. And the other reason is as important, or actually for us, even more important. And the reason is that business administration and computer science are culturally neutral. Wherever you study business administration or computer science, it's the same program. So whether you study in the US, in China, in Saudi Arabia, in Tanzania, or in Germany, you basically study the same material. So this enables us to put students from different cultures, from different countries, in one classroom. So in our case, every time a student takes class, he's put together, he's being together with 20 students from 20 countries. And every time he takes a class, he meets another 20 students from another 20 countries. And this is extremely important for us, because we expose them to other cultures, to other way of thoughts. We teach our students that the people who sit next to them, that might be from the country next to them, that might be considered to be enemies, are the closest to them in terms of their culture. So putting Israelis and Arabs together in one classroom, putting a Pakistani and an Indian in one classroom, open their mind, broaden their way of thinking over what the globe is, make the globe, or making the world literally a small village for them. And this is extremely important, because we believe that by doing so, we're making peace closer. So basically, that's what we teach. And I would like to tell you how it works, tuition-free university. So the way it works is that students who take our program, it's a 4-year program, it's a regular American program, 4 years long. They take courses, Every time the students take a course, they put together with, as I said, 20 students from 20 countries for a course of 10 weeks long. Every week starts on Thursday, ends on Wednesday. Every week, when the students go into the class, he meets, he, she, the fellow student. But also, they see the reading material of the week. They see the lecture, they see the reading material, they see the reading assignment, and they find in the classroom, this virtual classroom, also the discussion question of the week. And the core of our studies is the discussion question. Because the students are supposed to discuss the material of the week with their 20 peers. So the first student goes into the classroom, and let's say that he's Chinese, because the morning starts earlier in China. So the first Chinese students will go into the classroom, see the lecture, read the reading material, etc., and put his own original comment on the topic of the week. The second student, let's say that she's from Indonesia, and she goes online and see what the Chinese said. And she's either put her own original comment or comment on what the Chinese comment. And the third student in our case would be from Saudi Arabia, and he can choose either putting his own comment or react to the Chinese or react to the Indonesia. The Chinese is very, the Chinese is very likely to go right back into the classroom and see what other people say about him. It's very interesting. It's very interesting for him to see how the people react to what he says, and the discussions start developing all week long between the students. And this discussion is being monitored by our instructor. And our instructor is there with the 20 students to see how they study, to see how they master the material, to monitor the discussion if needed, and to help the students if they have any questions. So that's how it works. But I have to mention two things that are very important that basically goes along with the way we teach. First, we don't have video, we don't have audio. We must make sure that our students, from wherever they are, from whichever connection they have, they can go online and study with us. And we have quite a few students who do not have broadband. And we cannot afford excluding anyone who has any internet connection from studying with us. So we make sure that broadband is not an issue. Yeah, there is a price. Some students can study, can enjoy the richness of videos. Well, we send them, but it's never to see and to watch and enjoy it, but it's never mandatory. We can't force our students to study with it, and we want to make sure that wherever you are, you can connect. Also, even if you study from Internet Cafe. And we have quite a few students, actually one of them from Haiti, I met him. He study at home, go a few times a week with USB, go to Internet Cafe, download the material that was in the classroom, was going on in the classroom, upload his own contribution to the discussion, go back home. The next day goes again for a few minutes with the USB, and that's how we study. And we want to allow them to do that because for them that's the only way to study, and we want everyone to study. What goes with it, obviously, is that it is asynchronous. We cannot ask the students to be at the same time in the classroom, well, assuming that we have students from China and Haiti, it's quite hard to find the time zone that will fit everyone. So we make sure that anyone can go into the classroom anytime he, she wants and get the material. Well, it is tuition free. Students do not pay for the tuition to study with us. What enables us to do that is basically what is available today on the internet. The richness of the internet that the people who just spoke before me talked about enable us to take the best material from the best universities and deliver it to the most remote places on earth. And that's what we do, free of charge. So we use open source technology. We use Moodle. I'm sure that quite a few of you know it. Moodle is our platform to teach the student. We use open educational resources. All of our courses are built, are written based on open educational resources. People who contribute
put their IP, gave up their IP in order for people to use free the material that they produce. So this is our course content. We don't ask our students to buy textbooks for the very simple reason that they cannot afford buying textbooks. And we use only open educational resources. And the movement of more and more and more material coming on the web, textbooks that are free for people to use, is what we build our university on. That's the material that we use. We also use, as I described earlier, peer-to-peer learning. The students study with each other. It's collaborative learning under the supervision of the instructors, and our instructors are volunteers. And they are volunteers coming from all over the world to help our students to study. So that's basically the system that we use in order to teach our students. And I guess that it is probably a question, and therefore I should answer before you ask. It's tuition free, but we are not going to be free all the way. So students will never pay tuition. However, when students will come and study with us, first of all, when they apply, they will have to pay. It is free now, but they will have to pay between $10 to $50 admission fee, depending on the country they're coming from. Students from developing countries, from poor countries, will pay $10 for admission fee. Students from a wealthy country will pay $50 for admission fee. Every time they take a test, they will have examination processing fee. So the course is free. If they want to take the exam, and they have to take the exam if they want to get a grade, they will pay for the examination processing fee, which will range again between $10 to $100. Poor country kid will pay $10 per exam. Rich, wealthy country kid will pay $100. And just to make the numbers clear, over the 4 to 6 years of a full program, of a BA program, a student from a poor country will pay less than $400, meaning less than $100 a year to study in a university. And if they come from a wealthy country, it will be less than $1,000 a year, and again, no textbook, no other cost. So we make our tuition-free university with a very modest payment, but it is important to note that in order to get to this point, we need many students, but we also need $6 million in order to get there. Well, just for you to give you some numbers, to put you in the picture of where we are. We started teaching a year and a half ago, September 2009. By now, we have accepted 900 students. Every 2.5 months, we're working by terms of 10 weeks. So every 2.5 months, we take about 100 students. So we have accepted about 900 students, which are coming from 115 countries. So literally from all over the world. For these 900 students, we have over 2,000 volunteers. So I guess it's quite a nice ratio for a university, 2 students per 2 professors per student. Not a lot of universities can brag with this ratio. We can, so we do. So we have a lot of volunteers, but that's not the only volunteers. Our top academic leadership are from the top universities. Our provost is coming from Columbia University. Our deans are from Columbia and NYU. We have professors from Harvard, Yale, obviously NYU and Columbia, Michigan, Rutgers, INSEAD, best universities. And as I said, our instructors as well as the course writers are volunteers from great universities. We are research partners with Yale Law School. We are backed up by the UN, and just one more number, over Facebook, we have about 150,000 fans. So we are getting the momentum, and we're doing quite well considering that we're only a year and a half. I think that we are our sustainability, but our sustainability, beyond obviously enabling us to serve more and more students, sends a message. We are building a model. We are building a model for universities to look at what we're doing and to say, wait a second, We teach 10,000 students, 20,000 students, maybe 30,000 students. But wait a second. If it works, why can't they add a 0 to the numbers? Why can't they have 100,000 students, 200,000 students, or maybe 300,000 students? It's not expensive. They can afford it. And that's the university's mission, to educate everyone. And there is no excuse why not to do it. But even more so for governments. If we look at governments from developing countries, they spend now the few millions that they have to build their Harvard, to build their Sorbonne, to build their Oxford. Well, you can't build this institution with a few millions, and definitely not in a few years. It takes way more than that. And they are going to fail. But they can take these few millions and do what we do. And they can educate every single person in their country and give them decent education. Yes, it is not going to be Harvard education, but it is going to be decent, qualified education for all. And there is no excuse not to do it. The internet enables us to do that. And they can look at what we're doing and say, are you willing to do it for us? Maybe they would just look at us and imitate what we're doing, or maybe they would say, we got it, we can do it ourselves. Well, either way, we are fine as long as they do that. I think that what we are doing is basically we're trying to help our students. We first of all trying to help our students. As I said, we want to make sure that we help them to improve their lives. But by doing so, we do not only help our students. We also help their families. We also help their communities. And if we have a lot of them, we help their countries. And if we help their countries, we help the entire world. And that is our main mission, to make sure that we help as many students as we can, make our world a better place, and make peace a bit closer. Thanks.